I'm a simple kind of guy. I see a hamburger, I eat it. And if some kid starts crying about how I stole their Happy Meal, I punch that kid in the face. And if some police officer shows up and tells me, hey, you can't punch kids in the face, I punch that police officer in the face. And if I go to jail and some guy with a face tattoo asks me, hey, so what are you in for? I punch that guy in the face too. My point here is, I don't learn from my mistakes. But that's not the topic of today's video. Because yesterday, DaveCam uploaded this video where he asks the question, is this guy cheating? And he showcases a guy doing some weird stuff in the video that looks like it could be cheating. There's about 5 points that Dave makes in his video. So I thought today we're gonna look at those 5 points and we're gonna see if we can replicate what's happened in the video. Now, to be clear, DaveCam never outright accuses this guy of cheating. He just simply points out that what this guy does, it's weird, the situation is weird, and there might be something else going on. The first point I want to address is one point that Dave brings up several times throughout the video, and that is cold tires.
Bear in mind that he's on cold tires. But if you just look at how he keeps up with me on cold tyres. Now, I don't care what rating you have. Cold tyres are cold tyres. It's as if cold tyres aren't a thing.
But that's actually kind of what's going on here. I drove the Solstice a lot this last week because that's the car that was on the Ringmeister series. And I noticed that on the first outlap, cold tires just kind of didn't matter. I could go flat out even on cold tires on the Solstice, so that is probably just down to the tire model. Now, I like my food like I like my women, which is highly processed and toxic, but that has nothing to do with this next point, which is how is this guy driving in the grass and still doing 101 miles an hour at the top of the hill? Now, when I tried to replicate this, I obviously didn't have any car in front of me to draft off. So first I took that guy's weird line, and then I took DaveCam's line to compare the two. And I only lost about 3 kilometers an hour, which is less than 2 miles an hour. So really, I don't think there's anything going on here. What I think is actually happening here is that guy is still getting some draft off of DaveCam's car, which is just how draft in iRacing works. You don't need to be directly behind a car to get some of its draft. Another thing is that Nordschleife has these like paving stones next to the side of the track to help with drainage, but these paving stones get covered with a little bit of grass. Now, this is modeled in iRacing, so you do have a little bit of grip on the side of the track. In the video, the guy is only in the grass with 2 of his wheels, while the 2 inside wheels are still getting grip from the paving stones. Next in the video, Dave brings up how his car seems to be just absolutely planted in every corner, and that he's taking weird lines, and that somehow his car is just accelerating fast.
But look when he goes round here, look how tight he keeps it. It's absolutely planted, super tight line around there. I don't know how he does it. As I accelerate here, if you watch my speedo down the bottom, the speed I'm doing, watch how it increases. Nice and consistent. Then if we look at this, guys, it doesn't seem consistent. It's as if it jumps from 64 to 67.
When iRacing renders a car in the replay that isn't your car, it does so at the lower refresh rate. So what you're seeing from that other car isn't accurately what's actually happening. And I think that's the reason why the car appears to be so planted and accelerating at an uneven pace. But then DaveCam says this.
Now, if you look at my line through here, it's not the best.
And that's kind of the thing, because Dave tries to take a normal racing line, but the slowtice is so slow and has no power, so you need to take kind of weird lines and like keep up the mid-corner speed. and allow the car to track out all the way to the curb, and sometimes even on the curb. That's just how you get the best lap time out of the Solstice. After that lap, he shows something really weird that happened earlier, and this is what has sparked the most controversy and has been the biggest talking point, because this is the strongest evidence really for any hacking.
So he gets on the gas and it just puts the car on two wheels. Now I tried to replicate that at this track and also on the skid pan.
Now, when I tried to replicate this myself, the best I could get was just a tiny little wheel hop. Or if I used the little concrete pad, I could actually make it roll entirely, but that's obviously not what happened in the video. However, there was a guy on Reddit who did make the car roll like you see in Dave Cam's video, and apparently this is just a known grip roll bug that the Solstice and some older cars just have. It's not really a cheat, it's just a bug in the game. Now, finally, Dave mentions that the guy appears to be doing a burnout and adjusting his grip level somehow using software in the pits.
Is he adjusting things at this point? Like turning the grip down? And the only conclusion I can come up with is that he's got some software running and he's dialing up and down the levels of grip. Something strange going on there. He's doing this for a reason.
And I think I know what that reason is. I think the guy is just trying to do a burnout. When you're doing a burnout in the Solstice, you can actually use the brakes to modulate how you move about. You can actually have pretty decent control, even though the rear tires are spinning. So I think the guy is just loaded into the session, decided to do a burnout, and accidentally rolled the car. I don't think he's using any grip hacks or anything like that. In conclusion, I think this is just some guy on a Smurf account. I don't think there's any nefarious things going on here. I'd also like to point out that I don't think Dave has made this video on purpose just to clickbait people. Like, despite what people are saying online, I don't think that's what's going on here. I can totally see from Dave's perspective, if all of these things happened in a session with me, I'd be weirded out too. I'd be kind of suspicious, but having a closer look at it, I don't think there's anything going on here. So yeah, thanks for watching the video.